The institution Engineers Rwanda has just completed the first training phase of young graduate engineers who are preparing to integrate engineers' profession. This is one of the numerous activities aiming at fostering the engineer's profession for interests of professionalism itself and of the country's development as planned in 2008, while starting up the institution of Engineers Rwanda, which was established by the law in 2013.
It was formed purposely to organize the engineers, to create the welfare of engineers, to have the capacity building of the engineers who may be having some low skills after getting out of school or after having some quite a long time out of school, so the skills goes down. Then sharing the information and the knowledge as professionals who come together.
One of the institution of Engineers Rwanda mandates, achieved and mostly focused on, is engineers' capacity building, starting with the newly graduate engineers. It is an activity that requires a lot of financial facilities. The first phase of trainees comprised 30 young graduate engineers. It is a project referred to as Africa Catalyst, implemented in partnership with Royal Academy of Engineering, based in the United Kingdom, UK.
This project is coming from Africa Catalyst, which is founded by Royal Academy. The institution has some strategic plan. One of those strategic plan is mentoring program. That program requires a lot of money or some other resources. The Africa Catalyst program is supporting the young graduate engineers to get internship, which gives them opportunities to have a required experience, which employers are looking for before giving them jobs.
Engineers who are not yet aware of the institution of Engineers Rwanda objectives, because you have not known yet the objectives of registering, might ask yourselves the relationship between Africa Catalyst project and the institution's mandates.
They are related in a way that the African Catalyst project comes in to have the capacity building of the internships, which is part of the mandate of the institution. We build the capacity of different levels. In the membership, we have graduate engineers, we have students, and then the engineers themselves. This one came to build the capacity of the graduate engineers.
Generally, the institution of Engineers Rwanda wishes to build the capacity of all engineers, including young graduates as well as other engineers, through trainings. However, due to limited means at its disposal today, the institution has started with 30 young graduate engineers. There has been a large number of applications, but due to the above-mentioned limited means and transparency in the selection of trainees, a test was organized and administered only to retain the 30 best candidates. Indeed, the Royal Academy of Engineering sponsors several activities intended to develop engineers' professionalism, but through Africa Catalyst project, the institution of Engineers Rwanda preferred to start with young graduate engineers' capacity building in order to prepare for a better future of Rwanda.
It's a very new program, and at the moment we're testing different projects in different countries. So we made a call for proposals for institutions across sub-Saharan Africa to apply to. So again, it's very much thanks to the Institution of Engineers Rwanda for submitting such a great proposal and to take you on board that you're sitting here today. So thank you.
The young graduate engineers attended a training seminar before being scattered into various sites in accordance with their different fields of study. The training seminar intended to supplement their academic knowledge by providing them with professional ethics and other indispensable requirements for good performance at work in any site, before being scattered in their respective sites of professional internship. All trained young graduate engineers visited a sampled site, On this side, they became aware of the gap between practice on the ground and theory learned at school.
Iyo turi ku ishuri dukunda gukora nyine ibintu bijyanye na theory. Rero kuba tuje ahangaha bizadufasha tuzabona ibintu byinshi bya pratique bizatuma kariyeri yacu itera imbere cyane. Nkurikije nyine iri soko riri hanze aha birakomeye. Kuba wavuga ngo ugiye kwaka akazi ahantu bakubaza experience waba ufite.
The places where I have asked it, I have get no response.
The student internship intended to put into practice the theories learned at school is common, but it has been noted that this kind of internship is not sufficient because most of the students do it with greater interest in marks attainment than professionalism requirements.
In our school, when we are in our program, we make only academic internship when we are on our third year.
Moreover, it is particularly more difficult for schools than the institution to find fair companies that accept to offer internship to the students.
Because the sites are actually owned by our engineers who are registered, maybe we're in the best position to deploy them.
As planned in Africa Catalyst project, the young graduate engineers were sent into various sites to have an opportunity to relate the theoretical knowledge learned at school to the actual practical knowledge on the ground. They include those who studied mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, civil engineering. As a whole, it was a 6-month project including a 2-month practical work at sites. At our visit on the ground, these young graduate engineers were so busy working that a non-informed person could not distinguish them from ordinary employees. For instance, this is a site led by CaveCon Consultant, where Moses is on professional internship in a project of water adduction from Nzove up to Mount Kigali in order to provide for Kigali city and its peripheries.
Hari byinshi nize mu ishuri muri theory ariko nagize amahirwe yo kubona muri pratique. Maze kunguka uburyo amazi bayasukura. Anga ikintu ndi gukora ndimo ndakora tukora welding guhuza no matiyo tukarangiza kuyahuza tugakora grinding twarangiza tukayezora. Tuzakora kwestara amapon no gukora pipe kuva kuri Nyabarongo amazi azamaze gutunganyirizwa aza kuri Mount Kigali azaba hari tank azabikwamo.
The institution goals include competence development, which Iradukunda Moses has proved of, the reason why he has been immediately recruited and signed a contract with CaveCon Consultant. Among others, we have also visited trainees in electrical engineering and civil engineering at construction sites led by Fair Construction. They are performing professionally like ordinary employees. Both the young graduate engineers and their mentors confirm having so far benefited greatly from the internship.
Each engineer that I've spoken to has said that this has been a great opportunity to take the theoretical knowledge they have and turn it into a practical understanding. And it's very encouraging to hear that their mentors feel the same way. Their mentors speak of them with great positivity, that their attitude and their willingness to learn is very encouraging. The objective of this program primarily was to bridge the gap in knowledge, and I think from everyone I'm speaking to it is becoming clear that that knowledge gap is being bridged, that these projects are providing an opportunity to learn skills they've only heard about.
They had a lot of theory, they had minimal practical. Now they are able to have more practical in comparison with the theory. Now once you combine the two, they are very okay now.
We try to see how we execute the big house like this one. Okay. The processes, the strategies, and the knowledge you can use for this one. Because we are here with some experts, international experts. Can say bracket. Yes, that's it.
As reported by the monitoring and evaluation expert, the project coordinator as well as the board council chairman, the main goal has been achieved.
What impressed me even most is the spirit of the guys when I visited them. Even the others, they were just so impressed. Their employers were so impressed. So I was very impressed.
Some of the young graduate engineers were immediately recruited while others got connections from eventual employment.
icyo dushimira cyane apart y'ubumenyi wenda dushobora kuba twaravanyemo nuko kugeza ubu ngubu hari na bamwe bashobora kuba baramaje kubona amakontra mu makampani twakozemo twabashe kubaka connection buryo binabaye byiza wenda hari n'abandi bashobora kuba bagira iyo opportunity yo kwita babona akazi tukirangiza training.
In the closing ceremony of the project, the young graduate engineers were awarded useful certificates in their quest for employment since they serve as a proof of their competence. Considering the nature of the project, the questions of the young graduate engineers at their first arrival in their respective internship sites and the performance at the work today, the objectives of the project have been achieved. The young graduate engineers obviously increased their knowledge and capacity. Nevertheless, the employers, mentors, and the young graduate engineers as well have noted that a 2-month internship on the ground is not at all sufficient.
We would like to continue with this site until the building is finished. Yeah. So in that way, we will be able to know exactly the drawings. And when they will get in the wiring process, we will be on site and see everything. So, but the time you see is very few.
They need more time. The time they gave them is 2 months, is very short. You see, for the execution of the building, it takes this is 18 months. Right now, we are doing the first fix. That is in services. First fix, it means the piping. Then we are going to have the second fix called the wiring. Then we'll have the third fix called the mounting lights, socket outlets, smoke detectors, distribution boards. And the third fix will be done next year, January. Okay. Yes, so they really need more time too. That's why I was saying at least minimum. The sponsor should at least look at minimum 6 months for these young men to grasp more things.
That it's become clear that 2 months is not long enough, and that if the possibility exists that these programs would be extended to be 6 months long going forward. So I think my impression would be that it would be great if more of these programs could happen. There is always a challenge over financing, and I think if the Institute of Engineers can secure financial support to carry this out and offer these young graduates more opportunities like this, it would be a very good and beneficial thing.
Employers are also requested to show more understanding and consideration of this professional internship activity, especially by allowing more involvement to the young graduate engineers instead of taking them as visitors at the sites.
It's the task. We give a task of self.
You see, there is challenges of missing, as he said, missing tasks. I came here. I'm not included in the staff. But if they are not informed what I'm supposed to do here, they look me as a guest. But I'm here to gain something.
Some companies are not yet getting the culture to mentor the young graduates. They are thinking that it is costing them time for nothing.
Actually, some employers didn't want to take young graduate engineers for internship, maybe because they thought that it would be a waste of time or cost them extra financial means. Yet, as noted by the employers who cooperated, it is not only building the capacity of engineers at the national level and therefore contributing to the development of the country, but it is also beneficial to all employers in general, since they need young, knowledgeable, skillful, and competent employees.
I think they should look at it in a broader perspective because they do need professionals to work for them. And if they're not contributing to the training of young profession, very soon the market will not have the right engineers to work for them. Most of the employers normally think that when they come, that maybe in the future they are requesting for the money. But to me, if they are to support the whole country, because supporting young engineers is supporting the use of this country. And if you are to take part in the progress of this country, you have to support the young ones. As the government is supporting them, as the government is supporting the citizens, so why can't you support the young engineers to come and get experience from your company?
In this first phase, the Institution of Engineers Rwanda has been able to provide for 30 trainees only, but the process must continue.
We have the University Engineering College so far. We are preparing the mutual recognition agreement with them, specifically to be knowing the engineers who are graduating, who are coming out of the university, to be helping them in deploying the students who just graduated from the university, deploying them on different sites.
The general objective is to continuously train all engineers, especially in accordance with the progressive development of technologies. The sine qua non requirement, as implied in the law, is that all engineers without any expectations have to be registered in Institution of Engineers Rwanda.
The challenges we have so far is to bring all engineers on board. We have quite a number of them who are not on board yet. Actually, more than we have now, because we are assuming we have only 700 now, and we are thinking that more than 700 are outside, still working, still practicing, which against the law actually, because the law is clear, states that everybody that practices the engineering profession should be registered with the institution. And we know very well that there are quite a number of them who are still practicing without being registered. So those are working against the law. It's part of the challenges that some of the engineers who are registering with us are not seeing any profit because there are some who are not registered that are still working. So it is a challenge we are having, that we should bring all of them on board. Actually, what we should be asking government now is to enforce the law, which has been in place since 2012. And they have helped us because we have had some circulars from the Ministry of Infrastructure, which is the line ministry. We have had the circulars from the Rwanda Public Procurement Authority requesting all the people who are tendering and what to use the registered engineers. We have had some complaints of the so-called engineers who have left the jobs uncompleted, who have contracted the people and left the works uncompleted, who have done some shadow works. And those are actual advantages, because when our registered engineers do such, it is in the law that we follow them up, we see what they are doing, and we are answerable to the public, and they are answerable to us in turn.
The engineers must take this seriously because the government of Rwanda is determined to ensure that the law is enforced.
Ko nibwo buryo niwo muyoboro twe tubona nk'ikigo cy'ubuziranenge utworoheye kugira ngo amabwiriza tuyamenyekanishe ashyirwe mu bikorwa. Hari wakwibwira ati jewe ntajye munakomeza nkakora, ariko we ujye muri wa mwuga hakagira ingaruka zishobora kubaho, tuvuge n'inyubako yagwiriye abantu, n'ikiraro cyacitse kisha abantu, bizakurikiranwa nibasanga wa muntu wari ukuriye ka kazi ari kampani runaka itarubahirije amabwiriza y'ubuziranenge. Icyo gihe nibwira ko ingaruka atariza kuri we, kuri business ye, nyawo no ku muryango mu by'ukuri.
Ntabwo naba numva impamvu umuntu uzi ko ari engineer yujuje ibisabwa bya bindi byo kwiga n'ibindi abyujuje, ukuntu yaba atifuza kuba membre w'urugaga, kuko niryo shema ryagombye kumuranga. Icya kabiri, ntabwo numva yagombye no kugira uburenganzira bwo kugira ibindi bintu akorera rubanda igihe cyose rubanda idafite uburyo bwo kuba sure ko uyu muntu ibyo ashaka gukora abishoboye. Umuntu rero kuguma naho ashaka gukorera hanze y'amategeko, usibye no kwihemukira, arahemukira n'abandi. Kandi ntabwo wakwirukanka ngo usige itegeko. Niba hano twubakisha inzu muri ministeri, ntabwo twagombye na gato guha umuntu akazi ko kubakisha inzu cyangwa ko kuyubaka atatweretse ko ari muri urwo rugaga. Urwo ni urugero. Niba umujyi, akarere, intara, minisiteri ifite ibikorwa ishaka gukoresha, yagombye kwitwararika ko abantu ikoresha iyo mirimo y'aba engineer babarizwa muri urwo rugaga.
The leaders of the government institutions are requested to apply those strategies and implement those resolutions.
Actually, what we should be asking government now is to enforce the law, which has been in place since 2012. We know the government has done a lot, but quite a number of other ministries and districts should actually be enforcing the law, because we have quite a number of engineers in districts that are not registered, yet they are certifying the engineering projects. We are asking the Ministry of Public Service to put it on record that the institutions of government that require engineers should first seek to know if they are registered or certified engineers.
The engineers' unity as a whole will foster the profession and generate more profits. The young graduate engineers training and internship programs, as well as former graduate engineers capacity building in terms of novelties and new technologies, are another asset for the promotion and development of engineering profession in Rwanda, a profession that abides by the standards, ethical conduct, and values of an engineer worthy of his or her name.